Visuals are the big deal with folks. I try to make it as easily as I can. When I first come into home, I say, I'm going to make this as painless and easy as possible because, frankly, they've dealt with enough painful presentations from guys trying to get their money for a long time. So, big deal, too, is I bring out a completion certificate because most folks are concerned about their installers that are doing their job. You can sell it, it's a great product, great company, the installer doesn't put it in right, the guy, smokes in the house, lets the dog out, the cat out, it's a big deal, So, what I tell folks is, I show them this, I say, anything under a 5 on here, we're out of time, do we clean up, we're courteous, they gotta be nice guys too. And anything under a 5, Scott's gonna call you, ask you, what was the issue on this term here, and that's the only way we're held accountable for what we do. Long story short of it, John, one of our installers, made about $150,000 left this year. He's got a lot to lose by being discourteous, cutting corners. We're going to make sure his job is to make you guys happy, make us happy, and that's it. And put in a decent product, very good product. So, sorry if I'm jumping around a little bit. So a lot of what we generally come across as well in Rockford, is either not a whole lot of company issues, but mainly it's, third-party contractors coming in. And I try to convey, the differences between a guy going to a box store and getting a window and when us actually doing the window. And there's generally 3 ways to actually put in a window. You can either A, buy yourself, put it in yourself, B, hire someone, they get it somewhere, they put it in themselves, or C, or you go with the company. In the first 2 instances, you're always dealing with the finger blame game, someone blaming someone else for the job that they didn't do, or warranty issues and all that good stuff. The big thing on a company end is, you're covered for life on everything that you do. We're held accountable for what we do as well. And it definitely helps to have pleasant office staff and prompt service techs as well. After the fact, treat everyone as if, it's the first time seeing them, the second, third, fourth time seeing them, or when the job's been done for years. As long as we keep them on tabs, they'll always refer folks to us. Most of our stuff is off referrals. And we had a record year last year, and it's mainly just guaranteeing lowest price for the best product out there. And trying to combat some of the stuff that other people have to say about us, is probably the biggest deal. So, as far as closing ends, what I tend to use a lot, probably 90% of the time when I close a job or close some folks is, I ask, if they're comfortable with us enhancing their home, and I show them a 3-day red rescission sheet. The whole purpose of that sheet is to give you guys 3 days to cancel if you guys choose to do so. It gives them a little bit more of a feel-good inside because of making a pretty prompt choice on a pretty large investment right off the cuff. So I use that quite a bit, and it tends to do a very good job. So about 1.6 million last year. Plan on doing 2 this year, hopefully. Nice job. With the lead stuff. Thank you. And that was always a question. I don't know if we can get percentages off the lead abatement added cost, but but we'll see. Yeah, I think I've covered everything. Sorry I wasn't all in uniform order. The best I could. Did anyone have any questions?
Yes. Talk about AMA stuff in the house too. AMA.
I do. I bring up the actual AMA seal on it. It was a little higher than I wanted it to be. But the AMA seal, I talk about it on occasion. I actually bring it up, and I bring it up pretty quickly. I don't go and I divulge a lot of information. As you can tell, I talk a lot in the house. But also I try to listen as much as I can, to what they have to say. And like I said, picture books are, huge thing for me. I think probably can attribute a lot of my sales to that, before and after stuff. So, especially, women want to see what it looks like afterwards. So that's the whole deal. Anybody else have any questions? Yes.
Give us 3 to 5 things you make sure you always ask for.
Did Scott tell you to say that? 3 to 5 things that you ask the owner?
You make sure you always ask the owner. You first.
Well,
stuff in the situation. Do you have any money?
Yeah.
elaborate a little bit. What do you mean?
Are there certain things that you walk in the house, you make sure you always ask them to help you tailor your presentation?
You know, it's really hard to answer that because, you know, every time I go in a home, the reason why it doesn't really get canned for me is because I go in fresh slate almost every time with the information I've gathered over the last 5 years. So, you know, when I go in there, I kind of read them all differently. You know, some guys just want to get around, some guys don't even get out of the car doing that presentation, you know. And when there's the ideal situation when you got, you know, the Mr. and Mrs. Jones sitting at the table saying, okay, what do you got? You know, it doesn't happen often. You know, so when I'm able to cater that around and kind of prioritize what I have to say in a lot of amount of time without their eyes glazing over, you know, too quickly, I try to keep it really interesting if I can, you know, of course without jumping all over the place and all making good sense. Yes?
What the other side of
Well, I initially hit it when I showed the actual folder and the front of it. You know, I kind of go into detail. I don't go into a whole lot of detail unless, of course, they initially wanted me to come out for the siding and such. You know, again, trying to save the voice a little bit for what's important at the time. But you know, I'll definitely touch on it if they needed it done on their home. You know, we have a Prodigy siding. Sold a lot of Prodigy last year and the year before, just because, like Shane said, it's a great value for what it is, and a lot of people see that. Yes, Dan?
What kind of presentation is it? In front of the homeowner, in front of the AD?
That's an easy question.
Homeowners don't know you made a mistake.
That's right. So you're sweating a little bit more before it all happens. So.
Do you use good housekeeping when you're in there with the presentation? Are you bringing up good housekeeping?
Absolutely. I mean, when I have the seal there, I say our window carry a good housekeeping seal. It's a pretty big deal because some people say, oh, I've heard of it, but they have no idea exactly how important it is to have it on the product. You know, when I say they've been around 100 years, it's regarded as one of the top seals in the country. And there's only 3 window companies nationwide that carry it. Like I said, with Paul, with the information he brought today, it's going to enhance that, you know, jumping on that part of the outline.
You tell your customers you had dinner or you had lunch with them.
And Gerrick, you touch on that with the remodeling too. Right in the beginning, you touch on the good housekeeping with the airlift for veterans.
I generally touch it on the good housekeeping right off of this sheet here. I mean, like I said, this has helped me a great deal because, you know, first off, it says where we are standing in the country against every other remodeling company in the country. And it also says we're doing a lot more than just taking your money and putting windows in. Good quality windows, but mind you, we're doing a lot of different things as well. Yes, sir.
When do you bring in the window?